So today's video is going to be Ford. This is a 2010 F-150, so like 09 to 14. Airbag, when they blow the bags, the driver's seatbelt or passenger seatbelt, depending on someone's in the passenger seat or not, it blows these mechanisms so the belt won't retract. So I'm going to show you how to fix one if you got a blown one. The driver's ones in black seem to be hard to come around here, so what I do is these units are the same. The airbag part that blows is the same on the passenger side as it is the driver's side. So if no one was sitting in the passenger side when the truck wrecked, it's going to have a good passenger side belt. So you can find lots of belts at the junkyard on the passenger side usually. They're also the same on like the Mustangs. So all you got to do if you go to a junkyard is find this guy here on, it doesn't have to be a matching seatbelt or anything, as long as this unit's the same, which Ford seems to use these a lot in the late 2000s, 2010s, etc. So what I got here is, this is a driver's seatbelt that's blown, and this is a passenger side one out of the truck. So you can see, if you look here, the mounting tabs are different for left versus right, but the units themselves are all built the same. So we can pull this head off to put onto this side here. Now I've already pulled this one apart and I've wound it back in. So I made sure that I got the lengths now the same here, and I'll show you how to take these apart without blowing it. Because if you take this apart and you're not careful, you're gonna end up with this. It falls apart, comes out of here, and then you got yourself a mess trying to wind up springs and stuff to put back in. So you gotta be careful taking these apart. Well, let's see. This is what it looks like inside. So it's got this little cover here and all these balls, little steel balls. And what it does is when it pops, the balls go in here and basically just bind it all up. So anyways, this one's junk. We'll get this stuff out of the way here so we don't get confused. Now this is the little yellow spring. Well, there's a coil. What do you call these things? Like a recoil spring in here that's wound up. So you got to be careful when you take this apart. You mark it and unwind it, count the winds, and you rewind it up. But I'll show you how to do this. But this one I took off complete per spare. So I'll set the phone in here and we'll go about taking a good one apart and show you how to transfer it over. Okay, first step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark the location here of our spring so we can count how many times we unwind it. Okay. There's 3 torques. What size? T10 torques on these. Okay, when we get down to the last one, make sure and put a little pressure on there. You don't want that thing popping apart. It shouldn't be overly wound up very much with the belt all the way in. Lost that screw. So now we're going to carefully loosen this off a bit. Because there's little plastic nubs that keep it locked. So we want to go just enough to get past that. Okay, so it's going to go clockwise. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so about 4 3/4. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just mark this here. I'll put start. If you can see there or not, I just marked start so we know where this goes. Now this can pop off. And I'll show you, see there's a little locator pin right here. That goes in right there, and that kind of locks it in. So you gotta pull it off just enough that you can skip by this locator pin. Okay, so that's a good one. We'll put that there. Now, the black screw is a longer screw up top. So that's where that one goes. I guess technically it's the bottom when it's in the truck. Pull this guy off. What are these? These are a T20. I forgot to mark how many. I say 4 3/4 turns. Let's get these 4. There's gonna be one on the side, then it's gotta be careful that we don't pull the belt out from the other side of the other mechanism, otherwise we'll have trouble. Well, this one's our parts one, wouldn't matter as much, but. Okay, then there's one more here, right here. You don't have to take this top guy. This guy keeps it all assembled, but take this guy here off. He's a shorter one. Now what we're gonna do, put a screwdriver in here to hold this drum down into that side, because if you pull it out of here, if this piece falls out of this, you're toast. So put that in there. Okay. Wiggle that off. And now we got a good unit, and this is all we need to fix the other one. So again, this is my parts belt, so it doesn't matter if this were to fall apart. But I'm gonna save this belt, so I'll just put a blown unit on there just so it keeps it together. In case I need a parts belt down the road, I'll just put, oops, what screw did I put in here? Screw in there to hold it together for now. Okay, you'll see the passenger side on the F-150s has a little plug on the bottom. So that's how you know if it's a passenger as well. Put this to the side because we don't need this anymore. Okay, now we're going to reassemble our driver's belt with the new or used replacement module on it. Okay. So this goes straight down. Like so. There we go. You kind of got to wiggle it a little bit because there is some indentations that got to align to lock it into place. Okay. Again, the black one goes next to the sensor plug-in. Let's see. Tight. Okay, next we're going to put our kind of clock spring assembly back on. So again, it's got the little indentation here. So we're going to line this. Oh, sorry. This line here that we marked, we're going to line it up with the start position. Put him on, and then we're going to wind it now. Let's see, we went clockwise to get it off, so we're going to wind it backwards. 4 3/4. There's the 3/4. 4 more times. 1. Whoops. 2. 3. And 4 3/4. Okay, so we're gonna put that back in its little locator so it can't move. Let's see, those screws, here we go. It's the ones with the shoulder on it. Bring these in. Once we got this done, we got one more shorty on the side that holds the assembly together, and then this will be complete. Okay, and we got this short guy, T20, back in here. Okay, now when you get this done and the seatbelt won't pull out, don't panic. So what you got to do is level it back in, and the ball on this side, you got to level it like it would be in the truck to make this pull out. Oh, I overwrapped it a bit, so that's going to be fun. There we go. There we go. And we got a seatbelt working again. So you got to get it lined up. And the idea is if the truck was bouncing around like, you know, off angle or whatever, going down a steep hill or in an accident, it locks, but you get her back up and straight and she'll work again. So this driver belt's fixed and ready to go back in. So if you got a blown seatbelt tensioner for these late model Fords, that's how you can get around using a parts one from the wrecking yard to fix it. Right on. Right on.